everyone, my name is Vina, aka Miss WOCReader, and welcome back to my channel. So at the time of filming this right now, we are a few days away from the end of December. And as I was looking through the many books that I had planned on reading, when life got in the way, holiday planning got in the way, my moods got in the way, I realized there's a lot of stuff that I'm just not going to be able to finish before the end of the month, and decided to shift my energy to reading the books that I had already started that I have a good chance of finishing before the end of the month, which meant carrying some books over to January, but also January is full of new and exciting possibilities. My manager said I can start bringing a book to read when it gets slow at work during the day, so I have a book that I can pick up and put down easily when it gets slow at work in this pile. I have something that I can read on audiobook since I drive to and from work every day. Sometimes it's like a whole 20 minutes, so you can get a decent amount of reading done during that time going both ways. And there's just books that I have been excited to pick up that I haven't had the opportunity to. So let's get into my January TBR. This is Cabaret in Flames. This was gifted to me by Tor. It doesn't come out till March, but it intrigued me, and it's a novella, so it's going to be perfect for when it gets slow at work. I can pick it up and put it back down. Goals can be brutal. Few know this better than Ariadne, who lost half her body to their appetites, but their brutality is predictable, constant amid Brazil's political chaos. Now she treats them in the specialized clinic she inherited from Eric Yurkov, the mentor who rescued her as a child, trained her in medicine, and disappeared. Then Quaint knocks on her door, a charming, tattooed girl who claims to be Eric's oldest friend. Quaint suspects foul play in Eric's disappearance, and the two discover Eric sought asylum at Cabaret, an infamous Rio de Janeiro club frequented by the Gull elite. Together, Ariadne and Quaint unravel the conspiracy behind their disappearance, navigate Ariadne's labyrinth in memories, and discover what Eric means to them and what they mean to each other. So, it's an adult fantasy novella. To be short and sweet, and hopefully it has a good impact. I'm finally deciding to read Spiral during the month. This was sent to me by Berkeley. When did this come out? I don't even remember. I think it came out either last year or the year before. And it's been sitting on my shelf. So like, I saw that a couple of my libraries on Libby have the audiobook and multiple copies of the audiobook. So this will be a good book that I can pick up and put back down during the month as I'm going to and from work. It shouldn't take me more than like a week to finish reading. Elias Westbrook, a newly drafted hockey player for the Toronto Thunder, is facing the challenges of fame and media scrutiny. With a growing fan base and too many expectations on his shoulders, he's struggling to make his first career goal. The tabloids are reporting on his every move, including which woman he was last seen with, but all he wants to do is escape the spotlight. Enter from stage left Sage Beaumont, an aspiring ballerina with dreams of joining Nova Ballet Theater. But her lack of popularity online leaves her at a major disadvantage for securing a lead role. When Sage finds herself with the perfect opportunity to make her dreams come true by fake dating Elias, she takes her shot. Soon enough, the flimsy fake dating rules they set in place fall away in the face of their sizzling connection. But before things spiral out of control, Sage and Elias will have to decide if they're willing to take the leap together or if they'll call it quits. So the fake dating scenario here actually is the type of fake dating scenario that works for me, because in my opinion, as an adult, you should not be fake dating unless you're getting something out of it. And publicity is a great thing. We know celebrities fake date all the time. So that makes perfect sense. I have heard some good things about this one, and I do need a cute romance for January. School for Unusual Magic, Mermaid Reveal. This was sent to me by Scholastic. Shout out to them. I think they've sent me every book in the series now, which I'm glad. I am finally caught up, so I just need to read this one. Lav is about to start at a new school in Chicago, but his heart is torn between his home in Illet and his friends back in Brooklyn. Meanwhile, Amethyst is in her first semester at the underschool and thriving, and Rose above land seems unsure of how to find her footing during their final year of elementary magic. But when they learn that all their worlds are in danger, the friends don't know what to do. Unsure of his ability, Lav is feeling hopeless. He must team up with Cyan, an unlikely ally who would rather be left alone. But with the power of magic and friendship, Lav just might be able to make the difference all magic bearers need. So, this is the third book in the School for Unusual Magic series. I'm not sure if it's continuing after this, but book 2 had me hyped, so I'm excited for this one. This book was gifted to me by Simon & Schuster, and I was supposed to read it last year, and I started it, and then I just kept getting pushed back, and my moods and this and that, and I was kind of out of a middle grade mood for a little while, and I feel like I want to get back into it now, especially because my niece is reading middle grade now, and she's an avid reader, and I'm trying to read some of these books and then pass them along to her to see if she'll like them. So it's pretty interesting screening some of these books with for her, just figuring out her taste in books. But Cousins in the Time of Magic did sound interesting to me. History is alive with magic. That's what Zany Iazia is always telling cousins Jorge, Camilla, and Siggy. Their aunt has many secrets, including a mysterious diamond-encrusted sword, a sword Jorge definitely wasn't supposed to see. Jorge's daredevil stunts often get him in trouble, though. He and his cousins couldn't be more different. Camilla is a dreamer who adores animals, and Siggy is an aspiring influencer who has an exclusive party to attend. But when the cousins stumble upon a time portal in their aunt's yard, they are transported back to 1862 and discover that the past is filled with wonders and dangers. To return to the present, they must race to deliver the sword to General Ignacio Zaragoza in time for the historic Battle of Pueblo in Mexico, the reason for celebrating Cinco de Mayo today. As their journey to Mexico takes them through the Civil War-era United States, the cousins see just how much U.S. history has been shaped by Latin communities. They must find the power within themselves to make sure things happen as they're supposed to without altering the past. So this sounds like it's going to be super intriguing, super informative about history, and I think I'm going to learn a little bit while reading, which I always like books that can teach you just a little nugget of history, and then you can go on and do your own research and learn so many things. This was sent to me by Disney Books. This is It Lurks in the Night by Sarah Dass. They sent me this months ago, and it was actually supposed to come out in 2025, but they pushed it back. So since the date was moved to January, my goal is to actually see if I can read this in the first half of the month. All Maya Woods wants is to reunite her three best friends, Pearl, Erica, and Lystra, for one last epic boat trip to the islands around their Caribbean home before they all graduate from high school. But the girls are forced to make an emergency landing on Anato, an island avoided by locals and tourists alike because of the rumors of monsters and shadows that lurk in its depths. And their yearly tradition descends into darkness as Erica turns up dead. The girls have no choice but to leave her body behind. As their tight-knit community spirals into grief and suspicion, Maya and her friends struggle to understand what happened on the island. Was it simply an accident, or is there truth to the rumors about Anato? A week later, the community rejoices when Erica mysteriously returns alive and well. But Maya can't seem to let go of her questions. What did they see that night? And who or what is Erica now? As old arguments and new betrayals rise to the surface, Maya and her friends feel the shadows closing in on them. Something is lurking in the night, and they must be ready to face it. Like I had said in a previous video, I'm intrigued to see where Sarah Dass goes with this, because so far her books have been more on the romance end. Even It Waits in the Forest was more on the romance end, where this seems like she's going to really do more of a dive into horror. Melanin Magic, a young mystic's guide to African spirituality. This was sent to me by Running Press Kids a while back, and I've wanted to read it, and then like I went to pick it up and then I put it back, but I'm determined to finish this one finally in January. Join Yawa and Kosi as a forest scholar and begin your journey to discovering what African spirituality is all about. With the help of the Almost twins, their classmates, and their professors, you will learn about your magically melanated skin and how to harness the power within you to become more connected to your ancestors and to the universe. Forest Magic School teaches you how to connect with your Ori through breathing and presence, celebrate the elements such as air, water, fire, and earth, calculate your birth chart and explore the world of astrology, become better connected to the mystic spirits or orishas, use plant magic for healing and growth, honor those who have transitioned from this life, be empowered through proverbs, mantras, and symbols, and more. So the whole concept of this like beginner guide for children to African spirituality is what intrigued me to say yes when they offered me this book. So I'm curious to see like what this is all about. Finally, we have The Reaper by Jackson P. Brown. This one I purchased myself through Blackwell's because they're the one bookshop that delivers UK books to the US without having to pay for shipping. Amy is an empath, able to sense the auras of the supernatural creatures that stalk London at night. But without a guide and sorely lacking in knowledge, she spends nights alone, searching for answers. Gerald is a reaper, an assassin for hire, on the verge of his awakening, of coming into his powers and becoming the man his family need him to be. The man they demand he be. When Amy stumbles across Gerald one night, she notices his strange aura, unlike anything she has felt before. Afraid but desperate to know more, she follows, and he makes her an offer she can't refuse. If she becomes his partner, he will introduce her to a world she has only ever felt the shallow surface of, the secret underground city. And their first mission together, find a girl who murdered her own parents. So this one was the first in an urban fantasy series, and I'm actually back in my urban fantasy bag now. I finally finished An Unlikely Coven, and I really enjoyed that, and it had me itching for more. So those are the books that I plan on reading during the month of January. I feel like I have a good little mix there. Let me know if you've read any of the ones I mentioned or if any of them sounded intriguing to you. If you liked this video, make sure and hit that like button. If you're not sure like what to comment or anything, you can do a woodland animal since that's the theme today. And thanks so much for watching and supporting me like always, and have a happy new year.